Fear takes form in the darkness. The darkness feeds off screams. Fear is the enemy of childhood wonderment, built on hopes and dreams. So remember, in the terror of night, to protect the child, protect the light. Try not to become unstitched.
In a world where the powers of the ancient Greek gods live on through their ancestors, it is up to an intrepid team of heroes to foil the wicked plots of the Hybrid Engineering Corporation. Armed with new information concerning an ancient weapon fabled to have the power to kill a demon, Rev and the team split up to gather the shards and put an end to Azazel before it is too late. Little do they know, the Game Master is still pulling the strings. New characters, new threats, and tons of plot-driven action await you in The Killing Field Part 2.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 4 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight? We are running a little light with the crew. Everybody's stuck in traffic or something like that. I guess it is the first day of school for most of you, most people out there. So I just want to go ahead and start saying hi to people in the chats. Let me know that you're there so that we can we can say hi. And we're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight for about an hour-ish. So that'll be the that's the plan moving ahead. Hopefully everybody's got something nice and cold to drink, or maybe a cup of coffee or something. And as per usual, we're going to go until these things are gone. So doing a little Lipton half and half. So we've got one and I don't know, maybe a fifth. So we're going to take care of that tonight, right? Over here in the chat, we've got Real Matt Martin. Good to see you tonight. Thanks for joining us. We've also got Nefarious. What up, nerds? He says. And yeah, we are definitely nerds, and we're waiting for a couple more nerds to go ahead and make their way into the show tonight. If you're out there and you are not doing anything, feel free. I'm going to go ahead and pop this chat in here. And our guest tonight was not able to make it, had some stuff come up in their life, and so we were going to talk about Richard Embry's new book, but unfortunately he's not able to make it tonight. So if you're out there, here's a link. Feel free to grab that link. I will throw you right into the show, and we will just have a little bit of nonsense tonight, okay? So yeah, what up, nerds? Not as many nerds. Right now it's nerd. Tonight, I'm doing pretty good. Hopefully you guys are doing well as well. And then we've got William Pace in the chat. He's saying, hail. Hail, William. Good to see you tonight. Tonight, we've got Frog G. There we go. Frog G. Hail all. Good to see you in the chat tonight, Frog G. Gonna have a good time hanging out and just kind of chilling and having some fun. We've got Doris Jones, Labors of Love. She says, hi there. It's good to see you tonight. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. And Jody McPhee is here. Says, sup, Luke. Sup, Joe. We've got a few things to talk about tonight. We've got some new segments. Well, not really new segments. We've got new animations for the segments. So pretty excited about that and showing some of those things off. So, yeah, it might take a couple minutes for people to pop in because they are running late. Well, Dutton's usually running late. That's kind of his MO. He just said ETA 5 minutes. So let's see what kind of damage we can do in 5 minutes. And we've also got Sam, God's Black Friend, is going to be here. He's probably about 10 minutes or so past what Dutton will be here. So we're pretty excited to see those guys coming in. I want to find out what their week was like. And then Willie says, I can pop in for a bit if you want. Always. Oh, here we go. Welcome, nerd.
Hey, what is up, guys? How is it going, Luke?
It is going well. You know what? I think I have a similar chair to that, but my chair, it broke. So my really good chair broke. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what broke.
We got an extra. I don't have a co-host. Do you want to?
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I'll just teleport over into your screen, and we can do that.
Sounds good. I know you got powers, bro.
Some powers. I got the power. The power to, I can't say that on there. Yeah, I've got some powers. Yeah. So Jody McPhee is, as he says, what's new in the 3D printing world for you tonight? Well, nothing tonight. I haven't been doing any 3D printing in about a week. I've been so busy doing sketch covers and stuff like that, trying to get things ready for the last few people that I have to get stuff sent out to. So I had intended to have all of fulfillment sent out by the end of July. But the paper shortage caused my printer to take 4.5 weeks instead of 2 weeks. And catastrophic failure for Damien caused the action figures to show up a couple of weeks later. So I've been trying to run catch up with everything on top of trying to kind of create new books and stuff like that. So it's been kind of fun. It's been crazy. So how about you, man?
You sound like a busy dude, man. And like, I'm super excited. I got your hybrids package the other day, and man, that patch is adorable. Where did you get that? How did you make that? I think it's going to win an award.
You really? Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
I'll take that award.
Really good looking
I love
patch.
awards. Yeah, so the patch world, it started with going on Shay's show.
Yep.
And she was like, hey, do you got a patch? And I was like, no. Like, I didn't know anything about, like, people wanting patches and stuff. So I started the patches, and so far, this is the third. And I found this company that does a great job. Obviously, you've seen them. They do a great job. And they're pretty cheap. And, they're reasonable. Cody's in the chat, says, what's up? What's up, Cody? Nice to have you tonight. So they're pretty good. Like, they're about $1 a piece.
But who designed the chibi?
Oh, that is my friend.
Because
Joe
that's
Spicer.
the best part, man. That thing is chef's kiss chibi material right there.
Yes.
I know everybody out there is going to dig that patch. People are going to want more than one because you can't just put it on one article of clothing. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, you get a patch, you throw it on your bomber jacket or, your jean jacket or whatever, and it becomes part of your ensemble. But a patch like that, people are going to want more than just on an article of clothing. They want to keep that. That's almost like a collectible, So I was really stunned by it. And that's just the surface, man. That was a stretch goal, You know, we're not even into the meat of the package that I got from you. I got that dope Trashman cover, like the chromium almost Trashman cover. I got the role-playing game. That thing's awesome. I love your system. Like the whole quick start guide is great. We were actually thinking about doing a little live stream of that at some point.
Oh, you totally should. In fact, if you
should.
want, Nick will give you any information that you need. The guy that actually developed the role-playing game, we did a live stream of it on Shay's show, and so it went really well.
I saw you guys. They're playing consistently now.
Yes,
Not your system. They're playing D&D, but like because you did that live stream where you guys did the RPG, that like lit a fire inside, and now they want to do just. All the time they have custom dice. Like you don't know what you unleashed on that channel, bro. It's
eventually, I hope to like create custom dice for the RPG. I think that would be really awesome to do.
There's someone in the chat you want to talk to about creating custom dice. Frog G is a master craftsman of dice and glowy runes and rocks and stuff. I mean, that dude is immensely talented when it comes to that.
Yep. Jody says,
we should do the RPG.
That. The RPG is dope. It really is dope. And even though I guess it's not cool to say dope anymore, I say
dope. I live in Connecticut. Everything is dope over here.
It's dope, and I'm stoked, and all that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah. That's like normal parlance in 2021 in Connecticut.
Yeah, that is.
I kid you not.
Well, yeah, I'm down here in Jacksonville, and like it's I don't know. It's like a different world down here sometimes. We're not quite Florida. We're more like South Georgia here, if that makes sense. Yeah. You have to get down to St. Augustine to start getting into the Florida weird.
I got some friends in Jacksonville, actually. The Barnett family. Oscar Barnett's a close friend of mine. I went down to Jacksonville for a while, spent some time out there. It wasn't recent, it was a while back, but man, it's gorgeous, Jacksonville. We hit the beaches. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's a nice place. It is a nice place. But back to the patch. So I use Net Patches. They're a place, I don't think they're here in the States, but it only takes like 2 weeks for me to get the patches once I order them.
Right on.
I mean, it's super fast. And this next patch we're going to do another one of the chibis. Chibi?
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, so the guy that designs that for me is Joe Spicer. He started back when Hybrids was on Starcross Comics. So he's the guy that owns Starcross. And he's so good at that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really talented chibi artists out there. We got Chibi Selena did a run for one of our stretch goals. 14 of the stickers are available now on the Mavericks campaign because they got unlocked. And then we just finished making a bunch of buttons for the conventions that we're going to out of a set of chibis. That Sketchy Raven. If you watch Red Valkyrie, you'll know her as Lil Sis. She's actually in crowdfunding right now with Cookies and Scream. Which is hilarious. I love that book. It's adorable. She's got a very sophisticated but very cute style. She does really good like chibi work. So we got a series of buttons from her that we put together. But I'm always on the lookout. I'm on the prowl for like good chibi artists, man, because it's like having good comic book artists, man. You can never have too many people who can express themselves that way. And it is its own little art form.
So I just released on my Patreon. We've got two new chibi designs. And I went ahead and I got the stickers ordered. So
no way
before the campaign even goes. So one of those is going to be for the campaign, but the other one is going to be kind of exclusive for this. I'm trying to do this thing called a street team. Where we're going to offer.
Yeah, I know.
An ash can for our, for the people that help share the stuff and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to get extra stuff, free stuff for helping out. And so
that's cool.
So we're kind of working on that. But just kind of released 2 new chibis that you can check out on the Patreon. But pretty neat stuff. Pretty exciting.
Well, do you have a link to that Patreon?
I do. It's actually scrolling down.
Do you want to drop it in the chat?
Sure.
Do that so that I can copy it and then I can, both subscribe to the Patreon and encourage others to do so as well. I just signed up to Brett Booth's Patreon today, actually, because he was making noise about not knowing whether or not people would support him if he went to crowdfunding. And I was like, please, bro, you're Brett Booth. Come on, stop.
Yeah,
stop
of
complaining.
Course. I mean, there's a lot of...
You need people to sign up to your Patreon to prove it to you? All right.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff happening out in the world.
But hey, you have a campaign going right now, right?
I do, but that's not why I'm on the show. I'm the show to
But
hang
that's
out with you,
okay.
man.
We don't have a campaign to show right now. Why don't you go ahead and pull that up?
Sure, man.
And
no worries.
share
I
your
will
screen
do
there,
that.
and we'll show off your campaign, and maybe we'll get a couple backers over there tonight.
You got it. Yeah, let's see what we can do.
I don't think I've backed it yet. I gotta back it.
Well, you should probably wait to save up if you want to back it, because you're going to want to back the high tier, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Okay. So, also, since we're going to talk about your campaign tonight a little bit, on the, where is it? I think I've got a copy of it here. You just got this. On this is not the retail version of the book.
Yeah.
But this is the campaign version of the book. But in the retail version, we did this 4-page backup story, and one of the characters is you.
Yeah.
Story.
It's great. I loved it.
Yeah.
I remember looking at the script for that and coming up with the character designs. That was so much fun.
Yeah. So, did you know that? Okay. So, we're gonna put this story in one of the other retail versions of the book. Probably in a couple of months. Where we've got room, and so we're gonna put that in there. But these characters are also going to get featured in what is right now as the planned final arc of the hybrid story.
Oh, I'm so excited for that, man.
So yeah, so Chance gets a chance to LOL. Chance gets an opportunity to fight alongside our heroes.
That's
so it's
fantastic.
Gonna be really super awesome. So yeah, so we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, man. Like, I remember when we went a little bit deep into designing the background behind the character and the powers and where all of that comes from. And I'm sure that you're gonna divulge some of that over time. I don't want to spill any beans, you know what I mean? But
yes.
I gotta say, if you guys ever get a chance to work with Luke is incredibly creative, and this is coming from me. So I'm not blowing smoke up people's ass. I'm very, very discerning when it comes to the people that I would want to do stuff with. And your simple ability to take things that I wanted to do and to weave them into your world and figure out a way to make that both possible and excitingly believable was so refreshing, because that kind of creativity is what is necessary in comics out there, to just be able to adapt, expand, grow, and do exciting stuff.
I totally appreciate it.
And that's the mark of someone that you can really do cross collaboration with and stuff like that. So I got my hybrid stuff right here.
I'm really looking forward to, at some point, handing over the reins of the story to somebody else.
I know, doing a almost like licensing or doing a spin-off. Tell me about this, my dude. What's up with this? The Black Book.
The black
Tell me about this. Look at this cover, guys. Can you see it? Oh, look at that.
I was trying to do something very interesting with this arc. I wanted, my cover C to be some kind of connected cover thing, and I was thinking ahead where I hadn't done that with the prior campaign. Really, I wanted to think ahead, and so I was looking for all these really cool cover ideas, and I got a hold of my printer, and he was like,
"This is that backup that he's talking about, the character that we made together." I'm sorry, my camera does not do autofocus well for some reason.
Yeah, and the artist for that, he did such a good. He wound up. I had another artist slated, and he did so good because he had to try to meet the deadline with less time, and he did so good. And then it got colored by a guy named Jason Smith, who did a fantastic job on it. So that was actually one of the first ones where I wrote it and I had somebody else, like some of the creative team, take care of it, and I didn't do it, which was
how'd you do this cover though?
All right, so the cover, yeah. So I got a hold of my printer. I said, dude, I'm looking for a really cool cover for this new series. And he said, I've got this thing that's like a black cover, and we do use clear coat on it, clear toner, and it kind of puts that offset, that gloss on the color, on whatever color it is. And it looks really good, and a lot of people are liking it. So he shot me over some images of the samples, and I was like, dude, that's it. That's got to be it. And so there will be a black cover for all 4 issues.
Nice.
Of the book.
Because
So,
I mean, it's just strong line work. You don't have to worry too much about like the shading or anything. It's you keep the cover simple. Like I love how it's just the face, and then it's like the circuitry behind it, and it's got the title and everything, and the story name underneath. But it's very sophisticated and subtle in the way that it's done, especially in an era where like covers like this are what people are looking for, like the chromium giant explosion of dude with powers and lightning and everything, and those are very loud and exciting covers. I mean, I know I got some on my campaign.
I'm never gonna not love that kind of cover.
Oh
though.
yeah,
I mean, that's just
but
it's kind of it's in my heart of hearts.
But it juxtaposes so well with this, and
So
I
here,
love
let's
seeing
throw this
that
up here.
creative variety. All right, so this is my campaign. No one wants to hear about this.
Did you
Everyone's
share
been
your
hearing about
audio?
this for weeks. No,
they?
I did not share my audio. I'm a fool.
Dude, 11.5.
Let me reshare the screen because I know you want to watch the trailer. I know that's why you
Holy
asked, 'cause
smokes,
the
man!
trailer's
11.5. Congrats, dude.
We're halfway to where I want to be, but thank you. I want to break 20 so I can get you guys the secret character unlocks and all that other stuff. So I'm pushing it. I did it again. Here we go. Share screen with audio.
William,
Awesome.
your books are on the way. They are on the way.
I want to get
tell you
to
that was great, sir.
20K. I would love to land between 20 and 30, just so I can get you guys all the secret character unlocks and stuff. I'll show you the stretch goals when I break it down. If you want, we can play the trailer because everyone's always like, "Let's see the trailer." Trailer's pretty cool. All right. Of course, I do this always because I have YouTube muted.
War is a topic of vital importance, a subject of inquiry that cannot be ignored. It is a matter of life and death. It can be a road to safety or to ruin.
In an alternate version of our world, brought to the brink of total collapse, rival nations fight for global domination, and elite pilots in futuristic combat suits wage war on the battlefield of tomorrow. Now, 6 brave soldiers on a seemingly routine rescue mission will encounter more than they bargained for and uncover a dangerous secret that could change their world if they live long enough to see it. Mavericks Origins Volume 1.
Now on Indiegogo.
Dude,
I think it's
that
a pretty
just
fun
looks
trailer.
fun, man. That just looks fun, dude.
That was
It
nice.
is.
intro
It's a
video.
fun book. I'm really excited to bring this to you guys. It's been a long time in the making, and I'm really happy that I finally get a chance to share it with everybody. Especially since the campaign that we're running is kind of like for you guys. You know, we decided to design the campaign after everything that we've observed in crowdfunding for the past 6 to 9 months and taking feedback from all of the Indiegogo community and all the people that back campaigns on Indiegogo, finding out what they like, like patches, stuff like that.
Like patches, yeah. Like cute
patches,
little chibi patches.
Yeah, exactly.
We will do another chibi patch, by the way. Another
Awesome.
stretch goal. Yeah, we're gonna do. I think I really like doing like the backer stretch goals. So I don't know like how what kind of interest you've had in that kind of stuff, but I really like the backer stretch goals instead of the dollar stretch goals.
I knew that I could probably control the dollar stretch goals a little bit more because the way that we did our stretch goals, let me just go down to it. We did them every $1,000,
Oh, that's good.
which I know is very like what, but yeah, every $1,000 we did a stretch goal. Your art was actually the first thing we unlocked.
Oh,
So at
sweet.
1K, there's a Luke Stone print colored by Ichthus. We had a $500 goal, so I figured 1K we'd unlock the thing that, really kicks this off. But as
She
we
was
go,
fun to draw.
yeah, I'm glad you liked her.
It's
as
still
we
one of the
go-
pieces I'm most proud of. I think it turned out really well.
Oh yeah, it absolutely did. This print, I mean, the computer doesn't really do it justice. The print is high quality. It looks real good. I know Ichthus did a really nice job with the colors. I know he wants to go back in and do even more. He's like, bro, I know I could do better. I'm like, dude, you did great. And he's like, but I want to do more. I'm like, I'm not going to stop you. Color it up if you want, bro. But I'm pretty happy with where it is.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like I was pretty sure I could kind of control the flow of getting people to bring in money into the campaign to hit stretch goals. And I liked the idea of people pushing for the next one every $1,000. So far we've unlocked this. We unlocked a series of battle standees. So it's the Storm Squad here.
Are those are they plastic? Are they cardboard? What is that?
They're acrylic standees. And they're double-sided, and they're little. I don't know if you ever got Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb or any of the other the books like that. The acrylic standee. Yeah, they're just really small. They're like not really small. They're 2 inches, so you can create like a little battle scene anywhere you want. Like this dude is really like jumping back, so you can put him up higher, and this guy's jumping up, and it's just fun. They're almost like action figures, but not really. And I could give them away as a stretch goal because I get them printed pretty inexpensively.
We're going to have to talk about those because those look cool.
Oh, yeah. And we got 6 a.m. to do the chibi art. So 6 a.m. is pretty well known for his stickers. And I was like, bro, let's do standees. And he was like, I'm all about it. So hopefully more people are going to want to see battle standees out of that now because his stuff is really fun.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Then at 3K, we got another print. So we varied. We did a print, then merch, then print, all the way up to 20K.
Oh, that makes sense.
So there are 20 stretch goals up to 20K. And then I think we start going...
Good artist.
What's that?
Said, now you got Elliot.
Oh, yeah. Elliot did a great job, and Matt Yackey brought some real fire color to this. I think this is probably my favorite print of the ones that we have because it really captures Jester's personality while he's taking a selfie with his drones while the rest of the team just kind of fights for their life against...
By the way, hi, Dutton. How's it going, man?
Oh, hey, Dutton. Yeah, I didn't even notice you popped in here. What's up, bro?
Yeah. I popped in almost 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I gave Dutton the keys of the kingdom, so he can just pop in and do whatever he wants. So he's been handling the comments and stuff. So yeah,
awesome.
He's a true co-host.
It's a lot of fun to have a co-host that you have a rapport with, and also someone to watch out for the comments because you don't want to forget the chat.
Yeah, you do not want to forget the chat.
But I was a little late because I got a new bed and it finally arrived today, and I was like, oh dang, my sheets they're not big enough.
Oh, so you get
What a story, Mark.
So I was like, there's a Family Dollar like 5 minutes away.
right, and you go on to get it before it closes. I get that.
Yeah.
So you got patches too? Look at
that.
Yeah,
at 4K, we just did a simple set of patches. The flag for the Unification and the flag for the Northern Continental Alliance. And there will be a third flag patch, which is just going to be the Mavericks logo on a either a black patch or as a cutout. Because they're plain, they weren't as exciting. And I was like, okay, we want to do them, but, I feel like you guys deserve more. Then we got a 5K stretch goal, which is a print from Zevius. He colored it himself. It's called 5th Street. I love this one too. I mean, I just think
cool. Nice
having such different art style on the campaign. That was the thing that really pleased me was that so many people wanted to get involved and do stuff with us. So it felt like we had a lot of support from the campaign from the people that were going to be contributing work to it. And then we did a magnet. Yep. Mother Magnet, because that's her Mav, and everybody says that magnets are fun, especially Amanda B. That's actually why we put the magnet on, because she loves magnets. Then we got Scott Payne's IP, Chaotic Flux. The artist Brian Belando and Brian Magnier, they did a print for us, which is a crossover of our dudes.
Brian's done a lot of work with me.
Fighting side by side with their dudes against a bunch of the Dread Fiends. So I thought that was cool. And all of these are A4 sized prints. So they're roughly the size of a piece of paper, maybe a little taller
Yeah.
Yep. Then we got the
Chibi
chibi
stickers.
stickers. These are the Chibi Selena chibi stickers. So there's 14 of these, one for each pilot and their MAV. And so it's all 6 Storm Squad pilots with their MAVs and Kurito with his MAV Chernobog. Then we got Mike McMahon doing this print, which is Mother washing her MAV. So it's kind of like the car wash homage.
It's a sexy homage, huh?
Yeah. We started doing a little bit of AAT for you guys as we ramp up.
Well, some people like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's still all very tasteful. You know, there's nothing really hanging out. We didn't go hard like Blue Bombshell because that's not really our brand. We gotta leave that to the pros. You know. Again, that's going to be colored by Matt. He hasn't gotten his final colors yet because he had a dentist thing. He had to have a little root canal.
Got a pen? Wow.
Yeah, we got a pin. It's got a military style logo and everything that we designed. It's neat. We got the Brian Shearer crossover print, which is Gunship Thunder Punch with 2 of our dudes.
So you get so much stuff with this because they've already
that's
unlocked
the idea.
so much. Yeah.
I give you guys one stretch goal every $1,000, you know, and I want to get you guys. You know, we got Matt Barr, Rock and Roll Ninja graphic novel. He's doing a print. We got Jeremy from Zaid Studios doing a print. We got Pop Socket. We got Eric Ninoltowski doing a print. I want to get you here. I want to get you to 20K so you guys can get the secret characters standee, their sticker, and their trading cards. Because really cool. Earlier we do at the 16K, we do the full Storm Squad set of trading cards.
Very cool.
So I want to get you there. That's kind of like the real like shot. And then the moon shot is going to be like, you know, the 50K motion comic and STL file for the 3D mini that we made. Because we got a mini on this campaign also, you know. Everyone's digging the models and miniatures.
Yeah.
So then there's classified intel that we declassify on various live streams as we go for the duration of the campaign. The one that was just declassified was this one called I think it's called Full Bullet Magnum or something like that. Because it's named after one of Giles' moves. But that's Retro, Peter Palmiotti's character. And that's our character Mother, and they're having a little boxing match.
I think Joe D's right. He's a killer overhead on this one, but it's great for the backers. It's like you're taking every bit of money that you're making and giving it back, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, the most of the overhead for this was getting the artists commissioned to do the work.
Nice.
In all honesty, like the art was the most expensive part. The prints aren't hard to make. We were smart with the way that we went about getting our manufacturing and our proofs set up for our stretch goals, so those weren't hard to make either. I mean, trading cards, you can get a set for 200 backers for like $90 total. It's not hard.
This looks really awesome, dude.
Really the hard part. Oh yeah, there's a 10-page mini comic, which is mostly stuff that's these are pages from the book. They're not in order, but a lot of it was cut together to be put into the trailer. So we're not giving away too much that we haven't already given away. But there's like a full mini comic sample of the campaign right there. And then
I'm gonna have to pick your brain to figure out how you got that 11 so far. I mean, heck, that's if I were to break 10, I'd probably pee my pants.
This is just going on shows and telling people that, you know, we're excited to bring them a campaign. Like I said, I ran a campaign for you guys. Like, I listened to everything that you wanted, and I was like, let's make it for what they wanted. I mean, it's reflected in the tier perks. If you want to see that, what's up, Dutton?
I have a question. Like I want to go back to the standees, right?
Sure.
Like,
what about
you're giving those for free? A standee.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Like the whole set or just one?
The whole set. All of them.
What, you madman?
Nuts. They're not hard to make.
Madman.
They're cheap. Dude, there's one to unlock too. There's actually 8 of them. We're only giving you 7 up front. You got to get me to 20 so we can give you the 8th.
Well, dude, here's the deal. We'll look at your tiers at the end.
Okay,
so
cool.
We're gonna break from that.
at the end of this show want to talk to you about that. Holy crap!
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I definitely
sounds-
want to talk to you about that. So
Your book looks super cool.
let's there's a lot of stuff that's been going on in the world today. So let's do a new segment. I've got an echo from one of you guys.
Oh, hey Sam, what's up?
What up? What up? I'm good, man. How are you? Is that echo coming from me? Possibly.
might
Was
be.
it there? Was it there before I got here?
It was not there before you got there. It might be gone now.
I think you probably handled it. Because I'm trying
Yeah,
to be
I
as
think you
loud
did
as
it.
I can, and I can't hear the echo anymore. So
Good.
you know,
All
you
right.
took care of it, bro.
So
is
yeah,
it
so we
just
got
when I
a
talk?
we got a new
Okay,
segment. Well, one of my favorite segments.
Yo, that is new, and I love it.
Yeah. So who's gotten canceled this week? It's always my favorite conversation. So I will say this: it turns out that more people have turned on Frank Miller, and his cancellation is nearly complete. He's had more British outlets and comics kind of come up against him, and I know that for a while he kind of tried to like lean into the woke crowd, and you know, because nobody wants to upset
Did
them.
he?
I think for like a little bit. I think for a little bit he tried, but
I just
not
know
enough.
he.
Not enough.
I don't
I know,
remember
like
that.
a couple years ago, they did like a whole Batman writers thing on like a San Diego Comic Con stage, and Tom King was talking about like Batman is super depressed and has all these mental issues, and Frank was like, "Nope, you're wrong. Batman's a friend."
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
out of cancellations, it's not comics, but Senator Rand Paul got booted off of YouTube.
oh, he did.
Oh, he
Did
did?
he now?
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my.
Was it for?
How does
No,
this stuff keep happening, man?
He straight up went on YouTube and Twitter and told everybody, "Hey, resist the lockdowns,
Yeah.
resist the mask mandates, resist all of it."
Like it was
Like
funny.
with a suit on and like
Um,
straight face, and he was like, "Yo,
As
it's
much as
un-American,
I love to
it's
hear that.
unconstitutional. Resist."
And then, like on his Twitter, he's like, "You can't find me on YouTube now, but here's like ramble."
Well, I mean, I'm
But-
sure he's probably got alternative like sources. He's probably got
Yeah.
streaming on Odyssey or at least Mirror Links. He's probably on like Minds because.
But it
he's
just
not
made
on
me
Facebook.
laugh. I
But
was
you
like,
know that's like on TikTok now. Like, okay, so I
Governor
made the
of
journey
New
to
York stepped
TikTok.
down.
Oh, did you know?
But you know what though? That's not comics. I don't know anyone in comics who's been canceled, but I do have big news in comics today though.
Okay.
Wait, before we leave hold that thought, Dutton.
It's
Dutton, hold that
hold it.
thought.
Hold it.
Before we leave cancellation and Frank Miller, I just wanted to mention that it's my great hope that Frank Miller just gives everyone the middle finger and comes over here
Yeah.
and starts just, hey, I'm going to go to Indiegogo. I'm going to write the coolest book ever, and someone else is going to draw it, and it's going to be the coolest, and it's going to be the best book or the biggest book to ever hit Indiegogo, and we'll all embrace him and support him. And I really hope that that's what happens. And let it go, Dutton. There you go.
Yeah.
Alright.
So who was
So-
the guy that tried not to get canceled, but he got canceled anyway?
There's
Because
been
he was
a
mean
bunch.
to
That sounds
somebody
like
in a
a nice-
bar.
That's
Like
almost
2 years
everyone who's
ago.
been canceled.
He was mean to somebody in a bar and didn't even remember being mean to
Oh
him.
no! I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
he showed interest, but then like there was rebuffing, and so now he got in trouble for like brushing her off.
Yeah, and
so it's
apparently
like
he-
you get in trouble if you hit on somebody without consent to letting them hit on you.
Yeah.
and then you get canceled if you don't let them hit on you.
Yeah, and then there's claims that like he said something racist, but nobody
sexist to her in the bar.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look
and,
it
but,
up.
Yeah,
but
then
nobody-
nobody could.
That's some sort of like small time writer, dude. Yeah, I remember like 2018 apparently is when this happened.
Yeah.
The crazy
That's
thing
weird.
was, all right, so this was kind of crazy, and
And they don't even remember
he
what
fled on
year
her,
it happened.
then
They
he
said
something racist.
2017 or 2018.
Yeah,
That
like-
was the thing. They don't
Yeah,
even
his-
remember what year it happened. but they're gonna be mad at him and cancel him.
But here's the scary part. The court of public opinion has already spoken. There has been no brushing up of facts. People are they're just digging in. They're saying stuff like, we have to hold creators. You have to hold each other accountable and things like that. Yeah, and it's like, Frank, accountable to what? Like we should also like
accountability with. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Will. Yes, that's the guy.
Yeah, I remember that now. He's a white dude, fell over like a black chick. He got shot down. He got drunk after a con and stuff. He said something kind of racy. And I think the most messed up thing, besides him going racy, right, is his friend apologized on his behalf and was like, my friend says some racist things when he gets drunk. Like, why? What? Who does that?
I'm not a smart man.
That's who does that.
But I'm still holding on to my info.
Oh, what was it?
All right. Okay. So last week we mentioned Substack.
Yes.
And Nick Spencer.
Yep.
All right. So Nick Spencer was writing Spider-Man, one of like Marvel's top lines that you could possibly write at Marvel. He quit, went to Substack, and is also like a recruiter at Substack. James Tynion IV is currently writing Batman. Created some cool IPs. Created like a new character, Punchline. She's like Asian Harley Quinn. I think she's sexier.
The Gardener also. You made the Gardener.
He's quitting Batman. He's going to Substack as well.
See, I was going to bring this up. See, here's the problem, man. I was going to bring this up.
Oh, wait. There's more people though.
There's a whole lot of people, actually. Yeah. There's a whole lot of people that are going.
Batman writer, Jonathan Hickman of X-Men. So you have like three huge properties. Scott Snyder, former Batman writer. He's doing
James Tynion.
Yeah, like that's the Batman writer.
Yeah.
Scott Snyder's doing it, but he's doing Scott's not making a comic, but he is making writing classes for $7 a month.
Yeah.
So he's going to teach people how to write comics if you don't know how. That's kind of cool. I mean, I'm probably going to subscribe for like a little bit just to pick his brain, or at least like see how his approach to it. Everyone takes different paths to make the same goal.
Here's the quote, dude. Check out this quote.
And Scotty Young today announced he is doing it.
Scotty Young. I didn't know about that one.
So here's the quote, man. So DC had presented me with a 3-year renewal of my exclusive contract with the intent of me working on Batman for the bulk of that time. I was grateful of the offer, but I couldn't help but look at the success of my original creator-owned titles and wonder if it was the right choice. Right there, that's what it is. So if anybody's out there and you do want to come in, there's a StreamYard link for you if you want to pop in. We can pop you in. You can be part of the conversation tonight.
The more the merrier.
Yeah, but so like that is like these people are sick of working on these kind of regurgitated stories, and I'm really glad because some of these writers are tremendous. Now some of them I'm like, they're going to do okay on their own. They'll have their audience and stuff like that. But some of these guys are just they're going to kill it.
Only thing I worry about is like, all right, so Hickman got off Twitter, which was smart. He got off it like years ago. Like randomly, in the dead of night, just like boom, I'm gone. And Scott Snyder is talking about getting off social media, but when you're on Subscribe Star, it's like crowdfunding. Like you have to have some sort of like presence. So
social media is important, but it's so easy to get canceled on social media. What's up, Clint? Man, it's nice
guys,
to see you,
what's going on? I was just hopping around. And,
you know what? Your beard is much more marvelous than mine.
So
God, it is glorious.
Years take all that out of it. Get ready, it's coming.
So
no, the topics you guys are covering are awesome, man. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. Everybody's trying to figure out what the hell Substack is and where they're getting their money from.
Yeah, it's like, what is this Substack thing? So so I looked up Substack, and it seems like it's kind of like a Patreon deal, but it's mostly newsletters. Yeah. So
you know what? Hold up. Pause. Everybody pause. Time out. I want to get like a little surfboard like action figure and just kind of put it in Clint's hair. It just does like a wave thing. It looks.
I tried to get a peek at the top, but the wind was blowing.
The truth is, Clint is cooler than all of us will ever be.
It is.
It is
I
true.
wouldn't go that far.
So,
do you remember
like
I'm just
Skillshare?
older. What's that?
Do you remember Skillshare? That's what
No.
Substack sounds like to me. Skillshare was like a thing where you could go, it was a website, and you could sign up to it, and they had all of these different contributors. Actually, Greg Pak used to have a Skillshare up there for crowdfunding, ironically enough.
And see, what the comic pros are all scrambling to figure out, like Ethan jumped on this one right away, is like when a comic pro comes out and says, I'm leaving Batman or I'm leaving DC money out there to go to something else, that dings off every pro's antenna, and they're like, okay, somebody's got money out there. Who's got money? Like, you see Mags Visaggio begging for $1,000. Like, all these comic pros are hungry for money. There's no jobs at DC and Marvel. The page rates are shit. They're like, somebody's got money out there. How do I get on that money train?
Well,
And they're giving out money without wanting any sort of like distribution or rights to the.
There's no
to the
content.
books.
It doesn't even sound like Tinian's created anything yet.
Actually, no. Wait, James Tinian, I think, is actually releasing his first comic in September.
Okay.
They
apparently
just want
him
a
and an
share.
artist were working on something on the side that he was kind of hoping for Image, which it still could print through Image. Like, that's the one beautiful thing about Substack is you can go Substack first, get digital, whatever. And you can do like your whole graphic novel or whatever through that, like 5-6 issues. Then print the graphic novel through Image or Dark Horse or wherever.
Yeah, because they're not asking for a piece of the publishing. They're not asking for a piece of the character. So if the character pops off and someone wants to option you for something, they don't want a piece of that. They only want a piece of the digital comic, that subscription. That's it. They're like, you can have the rest. We don't want to take anything else.
Which,
from you.
like Scotty Young said, he's bringing back I Hate Fairyland, and he's gonna just have it on Substack first. So it's gonna be up there for like a month or two first before it actually.
What doesn't
And in all honesty,
how they're going to make
that'll
money
help you
off the
crowdfund.
digital investment.
You know, that'll help you crowdfund if you're on Substack and you're getting paid kind of the way that you used to be on Webtoon, but now you're getting paid by Substack.
You know, I think people are also doing this stuff with Patreon now. You know, so it's like I think I don't think the platform matters, but I think that the mindset matters. You know,
think
it's like,
the
how can I
platform helps,
incorporate
though.
that?
Because
I mean, if
you have
Substack has
to
money-
advertise your Patreon, right? You know, like
Yes.
And the thing
Like,
about
I'm
Patreon
advertising
is
like
it's
crazy
very
right
much
now.
like your Patreon. Patreon doesn't have a whole spread with an algorithm that advertises things. If you got like a Webtoon, you go, "Hey, I'm on Webtoon." People go there, they type in your name, they look you up, they find you. Patreon doesn't really have that. You have to get the link direct from the person. So Substack might actually help by kind of resetting the groundwork for people who are going to be going there to publish their digital. You know, that might be interesting to look into.
Next topic. Who is
Clint and I actually have to bail out in like 5 minutes.
We got 5 minutes.
Okay, so, 5 minutes.
I might cut out a little bit early, but yeah.
Confused about the math there, Nefarious. 5 minutes?
5 minutes?
Yeah,
That's 10,
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
All right. So, Suicide Squad, the new movie. You guys see that one?
I saw it.
Oh, you mean the Suicide Squad?
I thought it was gloriously ridiculous and silly, and I had a blast watching it. It made me laugh, like to a point to where one time I almost peed because I was laughing so hard.
Yep.
And
I've heard good things.
It was so silly.
Violent as hell. Violent as hell.
Yeah. So Heidi McDonald, who is a terrible critic, right?
She's the queen of the Whisper Network.
Yes. She tweeted that she saw The Suicide Squad today and loved it, at James Gunn had made a dark, violent movie that somehow has more heart than almost any superhero movie I can think of. I couldn't love Margot Robbie as Harley anymore. Okay, so that was a nice comment. Okay. But then Jim Lee quote tweeted her, means a lot coming from you, Heidi. Agreed on all points. Like she in that tweet, she's dissing, you know, she's praising that movie, but also simultaneously, like, there's also kind of this like, well, you know, the rest of your stuff is crap.
Well,
Yeah, specifically the Justice League movie where Joss Whedon came in and redid the beginning based off of your Justice League drawn by Jim Lee. Like that whole Batman sequence was based off of like Jim Lee and Jeff Johns' Justice League intro. So she's like actually trashing Jim Lee's work.
You know, you're right. That's an under the radar insult, but that tells me one thing that Jim Lee's like, oh, it means a lot coming from you. He knows his stuff sucks. He knows DC sucks. No one's disagreeing that DC sucks. Even DC, they're like, oh, hey, you liked something. That's great. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of took Jim Lee saying that's a lot coming from you as like a little jab back. Like, I know you're a hater, but at least you can appreciate that we made a good movie. So
maybe that's where it is.
What's this we though? Like, he really didn't have anything to do with it.
He's Team DC though. Like
James Gunn made a good movie.
Exactly. James Gunn makes good Marvel movies.
He does.
The sad thing is I think this is one where both sides are agreeing that this was a good movie, a fun movie, and it tanked. It tanked on HBO Max too. It did less numbers.
That's the thing.
It did less numbers than Mortal Kombat.
I think it tanked because people saw the first one and they thought this was a sequel, not a reimagining.
Yeah.
Okay? So
people saw Birds of Prey and they said Harley Quinn is in this.
Birds of Prey wasn't a Birds of Prey movie. It was a Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what they said. Oh, Harley Quinn's mainlining this. So I think people were just kind of iffy about it. They didn't like the first one. They thought Birds of Prey. And I thought Birds of Prey was limp and kind of boring, and I wasn't invested. Yeah. So why would you have any anticipation to go see this?
Hello. We got doors.
Hey, we're just talking about Margot Robbie.
In here, I'm going to cut out and go do my.
I'm going to give you my last thought, and then I'm going to go find you, Clint.
No,
so
your last thought.
Nice
my last thought. My last thought. I think that it's the same thing that and I've said this before. It's the same thing that Mark Hamill said when he was talking about the prequels. Disney and Hollywood and all of the major entertainment companies do not care if something is good as long as it makes money, and the press will back them up on that. If a movie is agenda driven, the press will back it up because it's something that Hollywood is putting forward as this is the direction we're going in. If something makes money, the press will say, oh, it's super successful. If it isn't making money, it's probably because, the fans are toxic or whatever. But the fact that something makes money does not determine whether or not it's good. It doesn't mean that you're not good if you don't make money. That's the thing, and that's why reviews are all over the place.
Movie awards, movies people never heard of win awards. Like, last year Pinocchio had a movie. No one knew that until the awards.
Did that make money? That's the thing. But did that make money?
No one even knew it came out
until
the awards.
I had no idea.
What are you talking about money? No one even knew
it came
out.
Existed.
Right. So there's really it's no good measure anymore. The box office draw is not a good measure of whether or not a movie is successful.
You know what is a good movie though?
Profitable doesn't mean successful.
I would say it's not successful unless it makes money. But to your point, it can still be good even if it's not successful. Right?
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. In order to be successful, it has to at least recoup what it spent. It can't be operating at a loss. To be
the Green Knight. I enjoyed that. I haven't seen
the
Suicide Squad, but I did watch the Green Knight. And Sam, would you like to entertain me in some Christmas games?
He doesn't get that reference.
I don't get that.
I don't know that I get that reference.
Is that a Green Knight thing? Because I haven't seen the Green Knight yet.
All right.
It's a Green Knight thing. It's okay.
My artist saw it. My artist saw it. He loved it. I haven't had a chance yet because campaigns.
It's psychedelic, but it's dope. I enjoyed it.
So another topic.
Take care of the fair. So now you gotta.
I gotta bail out, guys. Thanks so much for having me on.
5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago, I said my last thing. Later, guys.
We are totally going longer than an hour tonight. This is.
I'm from the South.
I mean, hey, you opened the door, bro.
You have to start by like an hour before you're actually going to leave if you live in the South, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, but I'm from the Midwest, so we have the Midwest goodbye where you like say goodbye and then you stand at the door and then you say goodbye again, then you walk out to the car with them and then you say goodbye again and they get in the car.
That's the Kenyan goodbye.
And you lean on the window for an hour.
Yeah. That is also
5
the Kenyan
minutes
goodbye.
is like.
I was listening to you guys on my really long, boring drive. Well, the drive home was not boring because I had you guys on, and I get home, and this was waiting for me.
Nice.
I wonder what's in that box.
This is literally the first comic book I've bought as an adult, Mr. Stone.
Man, I love hearing that.
And it's the first printed one that I've backed that has gotten to the house, and because I think I found you like early on in my world of exposure to you guys and being in your world. So of course I'm like, oh my God! Of all days, he has the link to hop in, so I can actually open it in front of him. That's beyond. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah,
nice.
we're super
I
glad
have
you're
to
here.
go to the stream in half an hour, but I'm gonna open it. So there.
Yeah, I know you've got a show going, not a show, but you've got a campaign that you're doing a pre-launch for.
It is in pre-launch. It is in pre-launch right now. It's oh look, see Frog G, he is on it, man. He's already got the link in the chat. I love you, Frog G.
Frog G is I'm telling you, he is a superhero.
You guys all think I'm a hero, and I'll accept that responsibility.
It's in pre-launch. I'm really one of those like scaredy cat paranoid people about letting customers down. So my book's done. I can't stand the idea of it not being done before I go live. So excited! Oh, this is amazing! Look, you guys.
That's
cool.
cool.
God. So
That's cool.
I don't know. I didn't say this, and this is live, and it won't be a surprise. But I doubt he's going to catch your show. But my 18-year-old is going to Pacific Lutheran University this month. He gets to. Thank you. I'm so excited that one of his former youth group pastors is like, she literally lives like an hour away from him. So I'm going to send this with him. He doesn't know it yet.
Awesome.
It's one of the things I got for him.
Nice.
Yeah. I was sold, no offense to anyone out there who's not a pastor, but I was sold at Luke Stone saying he was a pastor.
Look at Luke Blessing.
I've
red. Look how red I am. Yeah.
literally been raising my children in our church since they were breastfeeding. So, this is beautiful. So I got my book printed by Amazon, but I wanted to get ideas of how other ways to print it. It's a done item, but that's the only reason I haven't actually launched the campaign is because I'm still kind of nervous about cost and shipping.
Well, let's talk afterwards. Yeah. I can point you in the right direction with printers and all that kind of stuff. Been doing this for a while, and I've done it long enough to figure out how to at least make a little bit of money at it, so that I'm not losing my butt every month.
Yeah, I just don't want. I mean, whether I make money or not, it's kind of not. I mean, I know this will sound lame, but it's kind of not relevant. I work in healthcare, so I'm okay there.
Oh, okay.
Well, I do live on a pastor's salary, so I do have to make some money.
But here's why I want to talk to you and pick your brain, because I can't go into the red. Like, not making money is one thing, but not like having to pay out of pocket. I can't. I got a kid going to college and a sophomore. My youngest is going to be a junior.
We can certainly point you in the right direction with that stuff. So.
I'm so excited.
I just realized.
That's funny. I think you saw my comment about the patches, because I actually just partially designed mine. I'm going to make one because I did start a webtoons for my stand-up comedy strip, and I had to take a breath because I'm so excited. I'm 51, you guys, and I just opened my first comic book paid for as an adult.
That's awesome, and I'm so glad.
Do the math.
Because your energy reminds me of like the Cat in the Hat movie. Like, I'm so excited.
Dude, I haven't bought haven't bought an actual printed comic book since the days of Blondie.
Oh wow.
Not Blondie. Blondie was in the Sunday paper. Oh God, what is it? Jughead. Veronica.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Archie.
Archie.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
wow.
last time I actually pulled a comic book off of a rack and brought it up to the front of a store and paid for it was Archie.
You know, this is why I make comic books. I think this is why most of us make comics, because we just love that. We love sharing that joy of comics. Because, I mean, I connected as a teenager with a bunch of people that were not like me in any way. Like, we had girls at our lunch table, we had nerds, we had people different colors, different backgrounds, and we all connected over comics. And I think that's the really cool thing about comics. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. That if you really enjoy a story, you can connect with that. And so I wanted to capture that same kind of essence in what I do. But yeah, so that's why we do this, right? Because it's so exciting.
And it's one of the reasons why Cool Story Door is. Thank you, Joe. Well, and as you know, Luke, it's one of the reasons why I asked you to be on my Diva show Friday night. Because that Misfits is exactly, and I'm putting Misfits in air quotes because not everyone wants to be called a misfit, but that's exactly what Diva Daily Living is about. We're about all inclusive. It doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, that we don't exclude anyone for any reason. And I'm looking forward to that discussion and I'm just so excited. It's just meant to be. If you don't have a creator in your life, you guys don't have to believe this way. But I know for me, getting home while Luke Stone's on the phone and I'm listening to him and his comic books waiting for me, that's no accident, people. It's just not.
I don't believe in coincidences either. I think it's all perfectly worked out.
Aligned.
Everything aligns, yeah.
Yeah, and ironically, I'm gonna hop out of here so I can eat something before 6:30. I'm hopping on a draw stream with Russ Allen, who is doing a comic. He's doing a fundraiser right now where we're auctioning off art for the comic book for kids. Books for kids. And if you aren't aware of what that is, if you're in that industry, if you're in this industry as comic books, I suggest you go find out, because I'm super excited, because one of my items in my campaign is a coloring book. Now that coloring book's for adults, because a lot of my artwork wouldn't be something I'd send a kid in a coloring book.
Wait, are you mentioning some AAT possibly?
Oh yeah, I have nudes in some of my work.
Sam, there you go. Your lucky day.
And some are self-portrait nudes. So there you go.
So Dutton will be buying 4.
Well,
He strokes his beard.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it's like Subway rules apply. Like you buy 4, the 5th one free, right?
Well, it's funny because one of my art pieces, it's an 8x10 piece of art that's on the auction that Russ Allen's doing. That actually comes with backdoor access to my website that gives people all of the PDFs of my work so far. Comic books for kids, the same company, they do comic books for servicemen.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. So my coloring book, I'm going to talk to Russ, and I think his name is, oh my God, whoever the comic book for kids thing. I just got home and I've been working all day, so forgive me for not having all the names in order.
That's
but
perfectly fine.
We've all had mush brains.
I am doing a child's version comic book on my campaign because I already do have one that exists. And it's faith-based.
Nice.
So it's not a comic book for La Première Tomée. So the coloring book for La Première Tomée is going to have a perk in my campaign where a certain amount of, and I don't know how to do the lingo, but yeah, some of those will go to the servicemen.
Awesome.
A whole separate coloring book will be in my campaign, but it's not La Première Tomée. It's called The Love Cloak. And it's a children's coloring book I published in 2019.
I would love to learn more about sending books to servicemen. That's something that I've wanted to do. So maybe we can connect on that at some point.
Yeah,
I got some really cool books in the mail too.
Yes.
So we so Arrow Comics is doing their thing, you know, and so speaking of books for kids, they've got a fantastic book for kids called Hero Bot Zero. Let me make my screen bigger. Yeah, so Hero Bot Zero. It has got super cute art in it and fun adventure stories. It's about a 3-foot tall giant robot that fights crime by the hour. So so definitely cool, and it's from Liberty Distribution. Liberty's taking care of that. But yeah, Arrow Comics. It's issue number 1. It's going to be in stores here real soon. Part of that also, I got. Man, these books are great quality. In here.
Oh yeah, this is what I want to make sure I
Death
do.
Can Save Us.
I'm going to send this book to people. I want it to go to them like this. You know what I mean? Like I want to know that this is how they're going to open something from me.
Yep. Yeah, well, we can definitely help you with all that kind of stuff. It's great. It's great to do that. So, there's a lot of other stories that we could talk about tonight, but we kind of moved into like this comic stuff. So I do have another segment video. So here you go. Indie picks. I like that video. I don't care if you hate it or not. Why?
That's the spirit.
Find us.
I like it anyway.
Oh my god. Sorry.
All right. So I always try to pinpoint some indie books that I find. Now this week has been nuts. Like I've gotten so many packages that I can't even begin to really break through all of it. It's been so crazy. But I have to say this. So I went to a concert on Saturday night.
Skillet?
I went to Skillet, right? And so most people, we lost her. She had to go. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. It was fun, man. That was great.
It was.
Make sure to check out her campaign, sign up for it, and definitely be a part of what she's doing. She's got a lot of energy, and I love that energy. That's one of my favorite things about creators and that energy. But anyway, so I go to this concert. And I don't buy a T-shirt. I don't buy the hoodie. I don't buy the drumsticks. I don't buy that.
So you want them to starve? Is what you're saying, Luke?
No, I bought a theology book by John Cooper, but I also bought he had 2 graphic novels.
Oh.
So the band has produced. Yes, the band has produced graphic novels, and so. This guy got them, so they look really cool, really, pretty good art. I mean, I can't, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So a Skillet graphic novel. I got.
I'm noticing a lot more bands are doing graphic novels now.
Yep, and then the Aftermath. So we got both of those. Yeah. So we got both of those. Looking forward to reading those. Also, I got to keep showing that love to my publisher because they're
give you paychecks. They give you money.
Yeah, they're feeding me. So I got the Indie Volt Revolt in this week. This is like a big flip book. It's got tons of stories in there, so you can kind of see how thick that thing is. We got stuff in there by Russ Leach. We got stuff Eric Hodson. A whole lot of people that I haven't even met yet, but just tremendous work in here. Really cool to look at it. Yeah, really cool stuff. Meredith Logren has a story in there with C. Michael Lanning, was really good. The Sin Killer by Marv V. So you might have seen Marv V's stuff coming around. It's in there. I'm telling you, I really enjoy it. It's kind of it's a real neat feel. So but yeah, so I got that. So those that came in. Had the 2 different copies with that, and then along with it came some this Daphne Lage print. Yeah,
it's interesting. I like that.
There is a subset called fairies that are into that.
Yes, and then some old school Arrow books, the Arrow anthology. I love old comic books, old newsprint stuff, and so we got this, a couple of books here. The War of the Worlds that they did, issue 1 of 5. So now I got 1 of 5. I'm gonna have to get the rest of them, and then Arrow anthology number 1. And so yeah, so
that's cool.
Yes, so this is stuff that I've been they've been doing for a long time. So it's really cool to be a part of that kind of that legacy that they're doing. Where that's coming from. So that was really neat.
Yeah, Hybrids is a part of that legacy now.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. I got this box in this week. Let's see what we got in here. Okay, this is Animal Eye by Cindy Kep. So Cindy Kep did a novel, and that novel has like a game with it or whatever, and then they're doing the comic book too. So so this is her first comic book, and her publisher's first attempt at publishing a comic book, which can be fun if you've never done it before. But yeah, so here's like some of the art that you get in there. Let me make it big so people can see.
Go big.
Okay.
So yeah, so this came in today, this week, not today, but this week. So, but yeah, so it looks nice. Looks nice.
It does.
I'm looking forward to reading that one. So congratulations to her for getting that done for the her first comic book, and I know how exciting it is to kind of release your first and have those books show up, and you guys know what that's like, right?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, you not yet.
One day.
Yo,
Yeah,
I went back issue hunting over the weekend.
Yeah.
I got the Max issues.
We'll go through the rest of these later next week.
Nice.
For sure.
We got a whole lot of books.
I got issues
The
1
Max?
through 9 of Pit for like $9.
Okay.
Like $1 an issue of Pit.
Okay.
And they had one.
Comics are awesome.
$1 an issue?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And he just went CG, didn't he?
Yep. He did.
Yep.
He's doing a Asylum Android book, and then
really
he's
cool.
Yep. He's
Then
doing
isn't he
Asylum
going back
Android.
to Pitt?
Yep. After the Asylum Android book.
Yeah.
Welcome to the dark side.
And I got issue 1, 2, and 3 of the Max, and then issue 7 because back issues. It's one of those.
Yeah.
You get what you get. But issue 7, this is the funny thing. Issue 7 of the Max, the cover is the Max versus Pit.
Sweet.
Nice. That's sick.
And I spent like
Sweet.
$16 for like 9, 10, 11, 12, like 13 comics. $16.
Yeah,
So, like,
That's
some
the
of the
stuff I
Max
like.
ones,
I like
like
that stuff.
2 books, yeah, like 2 issues. I was like, yes.
I love comic books,
That's
man.
pretty
Comic
cool.
books. Like those finds, they just make me excited
Yeah.
when I get them.
I mean,
like
I have the Max like
little
graphic
treasures.
novel, but I was like, I want the issues.
Yeah.
You want the-
There's
you want
something
those
about
Lucy's?
yeah. There's something about those finds. That when you get them, it's special.
Yeah.
It's special. How about you, Sam? You find anything good this week? Any treasures?
Honestly, because I honestly can't say I've gone looking. Although I do want to complete that a couple weeks back I showed you guys my first portion of the the original Ninjak run. I want to find the missing issue, which is issue 3, and then I only have them up to 8, and I know there's 26. So I'm kind of like, I think I need to start hunting for the rest of those issues because I really dig that initial Ninjak. I have 0 through 8 with the exclusion of 3, so I want to find 3, and then I want to go 9 to 10, 11, 12, and on through. But yeah, I haven't been looking for anything as of late. I've actually, in the form of indie comics, on here I've been repping Capsule a lot, and how we are making that game, and the game is coming, but Capsule has made the decision that before we put out our game, we are going to do a graphic novel based on the game. And so that's something that's going to be coming sooner than the game, and really excited about that because
sooner than the game, but not soon. I don't know anybody who's done a graphic novel soon.
Right. No, actually,
I like this. Like, we're gonna make a comic book. It's gonna be a graphic novel. I'm like, ooh, heavy lifting.
Well, I mean, it might be a good. We haven't decided yet, but maybe a good 30 pages. But yeah, it's gonna be maybe a good 30 pages is what we're thinking of right now. It's not a hard set. I don't know if you would call that the graphic novel. I call it a graphic novel.
That's still floppy.
That's still floppy. I think anything more than any, I would personally
like 40 plus is graphic novel.
Anything more than
22
pages to me. But
anything more than So this is 32 pages.
Floppy.
This is 32.
That's 32 pages.
Yeah, it's 32 pages. Yeah. All the books that I just held up were 32 pages for Arrow.
Oh, dang. I might have to step it up. I might have to.
My friend
that's a single issue. That's a one shot. We call that a one shot. A 30-page, yeah.
A one shot, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a one shot.
Oh, well,
that
it
is
would be,
completely doable and a lot faster than doing a graphic novel. When you say graphic novel, I'm thinking 80 to 140 pages. I'm like, wow, you're in for it, man. That's a long. That's a lot. That's hard.
So my friend Danny, she texts me because she watches us. You know.
Yeah.
Woo.
Hi, Danny.
She just some advice. Said that Doris, she was very excited. A woman popped up with us.
Yeah.
Should be on our stream more because she was, quote, the bomb. And
I
full of
like
energy.
Doris.
I like
Here's
Doris
the thing.
too.
I'm not one of those comic guys
And
that
then
likes to
she also
gatekeep
said
women.
Sam always looks stoned, so take that.
I look stoned?
Here, I will say this, maybe. But no, really, I'm not one of those comic guys that likes to gatekeep women. Like, so if like a woman comes up and says, "Oh, I love Marvel for my whole life," I'm like, and if I ask who your favorite character is, it's not because I'm trying to test you. It's because I want to know so I can get excited with you.
Yeah, I want to know what wavelength because I'm like, do I love Thor? And you'll be like, yeah, I don't really like the space stuff. I like Daredevil. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. And it also tells me when you came into comics. Like, she's like, I haven't bought a comic since Archie. And I'm like, which is super exciting because Hybrids has been like, and I don't know, I just feel blessed. I just feel completely and utterly blessed when people say, this is the first book that I've bought as an adult. And it's been like, I've had that several times now. And it just is so incredibly blessing to me. And I see Dory is in there. You have an open invite to be on our Tuesday night show, by the way.
Yeah.
So
open invite.
Yeah.
I
guess here, there, be verified.
So
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
First she comes in with the, I don't need the comics money, little, flex, and then she's like, I got 3 other shows to do. I might pop in here or there.
Yeah, but I'm so excited.
She's just rambling on. She's just rambling on.
I gotta tell you, I'm so excited about her career. I think it's really neat. It's really neat to watch. It's really neat to watch that. And but yeah, so I'm not one of those that tries to gatekeep women out of that stuff. I actually believe that I've worked with some really creative women like Meredith Logren and Nita Lanning. Being able to work with them, they've got a lot of creative passion and energy, and it's like a well of excitement for me. To work around people that love comics so much. And my thing is, I went to a shop.
I also got hybrid.
Awesome.
Sounds amazing. Yeah.
I went into a shop when I first moved into Jacksonville, and I went in to the comic shop, and the dude tried to gatekeep me.
Did he now?
Yeah, he tried to
How
gatekeep
so?
me. Because I walked in, I was like, oh yeah, I've been trying to draw comics for a while and stuff, and I love this stuff, and I was like, I grew up on kind of like Jim Lee stuff and all that and he like questioned that, and I'm like, well, he was drawing in the 90s, and that's when I really got into comic books, was in the 90s. 1994 was probably the most pivotal year for comic books for me as a person, as an individual that's when I really started to get into them. I got into them a lot younger.
I think that was like the peak of the comic industry in
it
the US
was
as well. So
for me, it was like those guys were the celebrities to me, and then like he was such a jerk about it. And I never went back into that store. Eventually, no one went back into that store, and he had to sell it to another guy. So now there's this guy named Ben Kingsbury that owns the place. And it's called Gotham City Limit, and it's over on Southside Boulevard here in Jacksonville, Florida. And that dude is amazing. He's got great energy. He includes everybody. It's like, it's all about the love and sharing of the comic books. It's that kind of attitude and mentality. And so I've seen a few of those people that are like really kind of gatekeeping kind of stuff. But again, I've encountered it a couple of times. But for the majority of my experience in comics, it's been completely inclusive with people. It's not been that way. And so, so if someone comes up and is like, hey, comic books, I love comic books. And I'm like, okay, what's your favorite character? If I ask you who your favorite character is, it's because I'm trying to get a sense of where you entered into comics. Like, okay, what favorite era of that character, like what storyline really stands out to you, because then it's like, okay, if I know it, then we can get excited about it together. And so that's the reason why I ask those questions. Like when I went to the Skillet concert, I saw this kid and he's like, man, I came to the concert 2 years ago and I didn't know any of the songs. And now I know every song. And I'm like a big Skillet fan too. I've been listening to them since, 1995 when they came, or 96.
Wait, they've been out that long?
They've been out for 25 years, man.
Holy crap.
They've been around for 25 years. And so, again, comics and Skillet kind of came hand in hand for me, And so I was like, all right, what's your favorite song, And he's like, oh, I don't know. And he's
Whispers
like,
in
oh,
the dark.
probably Plan B, you know? And I'm like, I said, I understand that's a very hard thing to ask, you know, but like, did you come in at Comatose? Did you come in, you know, with the newer stuff? Like for me, my favorite song was Alien Youth. Like that was my, you know, that was like kind of the big song for me. And then When Angels Fall Down. And it's beautiful, beautiful stuff, you know? So I was like, that's kind of when I came into it. So I kind of like to get the sense of like, well, how deep, you know, like, is your like, did you like, what did you like where did you find them, like at what point in your life? And it also says a lot, like I was talking to my wife and I said, I know a lot of people that love Garth Brooks, right? And so most people is like, oh, I love Garth Brooks. So I'm like, okay, well, what's your favorite Garth Brooks song? Which again is a really hard thing to do, but for me it's Standing Outside the Fire. And I'm like, if someone else says, yeah, Standing Outside the Fire, it's like, oh, then I know, like on an emotional level, like where they're at, because that song speaks to you, you know? So then you kind of get like, it's like you might find a kindred spirit in some of those answers, where some people are like, oh, well, that's gatekeeping. That ain't gatekeeping. Well, some people are gatekeeping with that, but I think most people are just really interested and inquisitive about it. Like, who's your favorite, you know?
Here's the thing. When someone
Rant
tells
over.
when someone's like, oh yeah, I dig comics, I might ask them, this might be a little gatekeeping, but like if I ask somebody who's like what their favorite book is, and they're like Squirrel Girl from like the past few years, I'm not like, I don't want you to be in comics. I'm like, I want to introduce you to good comics because you haven't read good comics yet, right? Like I want to be like, yo, stop ingesting this poison and here's some real food, right? Like
on what Joe just said. One, the sensational She-Hulk, John Byrne, to me, greatest She-Hulk ever.
Yeah.
And she did the whole Deadpool fourth wall thing before Deadpool. So
yes, she
suck
did.
it.
That's true.
So if you're
That's true.
testing me, you're a Wonder Woman and She-Hulk fan. What does that tell you? That tells me that you love a nice, strong woman, and you and I are of a kindred spirit because I sometimes drink from a Wonder Woman mug. I think Wonder Woman is a tremendous character. I've always loved Wonder Woman and She-Hulk, which is why I get so upset when they mess up those characters. And let me just tell you, Gal Gadot
look at them
is the
and going, I want
perfect
that number.
person to play that character. She has embodied that. Did you know that that she filmed one of the movies while pregnant?
I was unaware.
Yeah, she filmed while pregnant, and at one point she continued to do all of her stunt stuff. At one point, they had to green screen her tummy when it started to grow, so that they could flatten it back out. Yes, she is Wonder Woman.
That's very impressive.
The Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of worried for the baby, but still impressive.
Yeah. But think about it. You'd be like, yeah, I was in Wonder Woman. I was in that movie.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, the kid.
You couldn't see me.
You know what?
Mom was kicking bad guy butt while I was there.
Fun fact: my aunt is actually in Iron Man 3.
Is she?
Yeah. So they did some of the filming in North Carolina, in small town called Warsaw. They did some like green screen stuff, but like the whole country bar scene. My aunt is like a background character. She doesn't say anything. I think she just walks by. But
it's
still,
cool.
She's in it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That is cool. I do
related to a movie story. Not a story.
That is awesome.
I'm a movie actress. It is what it is.
It's pretty cool. I don't think I know anyone who's been in a Marvel film or a DC film, but that would be kind of cool. I mean, some of them are kind of going downhill these days, but if you guys, that Suicide Squad movie, if that's good, then it kind of gives me hope for maybe where movies can go.
Dude, I liked it a lot. And I mean, super like, I think people automatically, I think they had that knee-jerk reaction that they didn't want to like it. But man, I watched it and I laughed. I think King Shark is okay. So here's the deal, and I'm going to try not to give away any spoilers. If you've watched it,
it ends with credits at the very end.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, I will say this: they spotlight several, not even B or C list villains. We're talking D, maybe even F list villains, and one of those villains is Polka Dot Man. Who they literally in one part of the movie they explain all of the information that we have about this character from the comics. but the character was so likable and lovable.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, he might be my favorite part of the movie. He might very well be my favorite part of that whole movie, and that includes all of the action and fighting. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
I had a question earlier when we were talking about this film. Is it not? Do they not frame it as a sequel to the last Suicide Squad, or is it just like that thing never happened? Here's the Suicide Squad for the first time.
That thing never happened, and here's how you know it never happened. Because they come back and there's characters that were in the first movie that had already died.
And they're just there again? Okay, that's great.
I was like, what is
That's
this?
great.
In the first 5 minutes, I was like, what is happening? Like, what is happening here? And then I'm like, I get it. This is awesome. And as soon as I got it, loved it. We got an echo again from one of you guys. I don't know who it is.
Oh.
Echo. Check. No,
Check.
it's Dutton.
How? I literally have done nothing but sit here. My hands have done. I've not pushed any single button. No buttons. How, my dude? I blame Sam doing his like voodoo witchcraft.
Now, I do got to say this. Joe D. McPhee says his only gripe is that Suicide Squad is that they gave Harley another side story. And I think that's their favorite thing to do, which also just adds to the absurdity. It was fun. And I like my comic books fun. I like my comic books, to have a little bit of humor and silliness in it. Because I want to be entertained.
I've not seen it yet. But
what are you
without
waiting
counting
for?
it, my dude. So
If you want to share that link, that was HBO Max link with your homies.
Yeah, like some of us are broke moochers, my dude. Some of us are broke moochers.
I might be able to hook a brother up.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool. Me and then Sam. I'm your co-host.
Then I'll let you know what I thought of it.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual.
I've just been dying to play that clip all night. I don't know why.
Some of us got like speeding tickets like maybe 2 weeks ago and had like things to pay so they can't see the movie, just saying.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang, bang.
That's pretty much the whole movie. Like, let me describe the Suicide Squad in just like anyway, so I started blasting. It is so funny. But yeah, I might be able to hook you guys up. So we can't talk about that on the air because that's illegal. Anyway, so yeah. So, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not illegal. It's frowned upon.
They can frown all they want. It's not illegal. You can share it with whomever you like. And if you like to share it with me, I'd like to be shared with.
Yeah. So anyway, comics now. I'm pretty excited about comics.
Sam, are you in an open relationship you like to be shared with?
Links to streaming services exclusively, okay?
All right.
None of that funny stuff, Jen. Yeah, there we go.
So anyway, yeah. So having a good time with comics this week, and a lot of it's really nice to see that a lot of the indies that we've been backing on crowdfunding that they're fulfilling right now. It's really awesome. Like I said, I'd hoped, and I understand that there's things that can come up. Like, I was hoping to have everything sent out by the end of July. But with the paper shortage, the printer, took 4.5, almost 5 weeks instead of 2 weeks to get the books to me. And then and with other things, there was just other like vendors, like it took them longer than what it normally takes. So it normally takes like 2 weeks. Like once I put that order in at the end of the day to get everything, and it was, like I said, it was over a month for a couple of them. And I'm like, that's just, that really kind of eats into your time. But the point is you work hard to try to get that stuff out. And I've noticed that even with some of them that may be a little bit longer than what they promised, the books are showing up. And, I love like scrolling through Facebook and Twitter and seeing like, hey, and seeing that Hybrids Arrow comics tape on a box. I'm like, yes, they got it. And I love it when people get excited about it because, comics are awesome. Like Keanu says, like our good friend says, and comics are, kind of the reason why we kind of do this show every Tuesday night.
Yeah, which I think that's a good to wrap up point.
It is. I do think it's a great wrap up point. And
so Sam, where can we find you, Sam?
You can find me at Mighty Jump Comics. Look that up on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. In fact, if you want to go to Mighty Jump Comics on Instagram, in honor of Spider-Man Day, which was last week, I dropped 2 pictures of Spider-Man that I drew in my years as a wee lad, back when I used to draw, when I thought I could be a comic book artist. They're pretty okay. I think you'll get a kick out of them. But yeah, take a look. But you can find me at Mighty Jump Comics everywhere. You can find me also at Capsule Art, Capsule USA, just about everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, and soon to be backing a comic there. I'm not going to say the last one because Dutton always complains about me saying the last thing, so I'm not going to say it. So yeah.
All right, Luke.
You can find me at lukestonestudios.com. That's lukestonestudios.com. Over there's a series of different links to my social media, including all of the Indiegogo signups and in-demands, as well as a Patreon link where you can go over there and get special stuff. I've got a special deal going on until the end of August over there. Plus, we've just now included physical tiers, like physical perks that you can get. So let's say, for instance, the Hybrids book here that's going to be out in stores. If you don't have a store near you that's going to be carrying this remastered edition of Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, if you don't have that, and it's not near you and you can't get your store to go over to Liberty Distribution, ledg.us, and sign up for that, then you could actually sign up for one of the perks, one of the tiers, and every month I'll send you a copy of the book, of the newest book. So there's a lot of things like that on there. So please go by lukestonestudios.com, sign up for the mailing list, and check out all those other links.
All right, and now Dutton, you go. Oh snap! What? I wasn't ready. All right. All right. PSA? Is that how? Public announcement, right? Don't moon people in London. Sam, ask me why.
Why?
Because you don't know who's a werewolf. That's why.
Gosh.
Dun, dun, dun. All right.
Are we going to keep letting him do stuff like that?
Yes, we are.
Is there a way to stop him?
I think at this point he can't be stopped.
No, I am the Senate. You can find me on Facebook, Justin Dutton. You can find me on Twitter at JustinDutton18. You can find Sam here on some Tuesdays, mostly all Tuesdays. Might be a tad late, could be a tad longer. Who knows with Sam? He's on his own time because he thinks he's a superstar of the show, and we make accommodations for him because of that starhood.
He kind of is a superstar.
Between 8 and 9-ish. That ish is very important because, like, we're 30 minutes past ish.
Yeah.
So ish. And y'all have a wonderful night. Luke, do the thing.
I will do the thing. Do not forget.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.